So it all comes down to the day, to what happens on the server. And I think we're in for at least a close matchup, whichever way the pendulum swings.
Yeah, I know where they stand in your power rankings. A lot of the maps, they've had to go a little bit more standard.
We'll see if the Harbor can work for BLG or if they will freeze up in the pistol round. Certainly starting off hot with a 2-to-1 trade. KC on the back foot, but there's still two players here to defend. Sadik and Sagetsu waiting for this push to come around, but BLG, they tempered themselves. Yeah, they've been happy to go back and forth. And KC reacting very early to the information given the A site stack up, now the B site stack up, and they're going to be having to retake this site by the looks of things. 12 seconds though, this is where you think, maybe I push forward, just delay that plant a little bit. 8 seconds left, the plant needs to come through and there's no one left to get it on the ground. KC, they've managed to win this by the thinnest of margins. Is a bold play. Perhaps Harbor's utility can get them a little bit closer, but if they swing dry into Martine, they'll be pushing this site with a few less players.
Oh, you say that. It's not gone to plan. I think he's screwed. Player up above him, and they'll be taken down immediately. That's going to be an outlaw into enemy hands. The remaining 3 players are all left with light shields. 1 shot to the gun, and it may not even matter. Levius lurking in mid. Has already managed to drop 1 more onto the remaining couple. It might just be worth saving, but look what they've got. It's the pistol players that remain.
That's the problem with this kind of gamble. That outlaw doesn't find the pick. He can be crushed so quickly by the aggression. And when it goes to your opponent's hands, look at the damage he can do.
Wisey.
Yeah. Wisey's got that outlaw. No one should be peeking on those long-range angles, but they need information. Just peeking out here could be punished. Nice shot by Elite. He's at least going to keep them in check to start this out. A 5 versus 4. They have plenty of util. Plenty of numbers to deal with him.
He's been able to give the information, but it feels like it's too little too late, and even with a little bit of help from the wall and a headshot, it's not going to do nearly enough damage. The Cove available to keep them nice and safe, and now falling into the post plant, there's barely any utility to play for this defensive side retake.
Yeah, where's the attack? They used their snake bite, but they've lost Neff in the process. Shock darts available, but delayed a moment as the knife from KO hits, and now the tap will draw them into the open. Perhaps there is still a chance with Levius going down. This is madness in the early game. Defuse is underway. Elite's got another. That Guardian paying dividends, and the defuse has come in. This is a back and forth game early on. And needless to say, KC are keeping them in check. 2-1. The regen shields bring them back to at least 2 bullets.
Take flight.
I suggest
there's some serious chances for them. Reckoning goes in. So too does Wisey. He's hunting them down up top, and he'll grab one. Sadik out of this round. And a plan for BLG. Oh, that shock dart. That snake bite come very close. Russia clinging on for dear life.
And they're still being delayed, but eventually that spike plant is going to come in. The Blade Storm on an incredibly low Wisey, and he just got a little bit lower, hoping for those shields to regenerate, to give him a chance, but even still, they're keeping things even. That HP being low is yet to come into effect, but Sagetsu pounces. You're also going to see the same on the other side as Aves with another. We finally get another round strung together after the early back and forth, and
to start their execute on B, hoping they've pulled rotations to A. Right as they may be, they need to clear this corner. They need to deal with Sagetsu, and they will not before major damage is done. Already picking off 2, and the retreat here, the snake bite down. He's got his weapon back out in time, and deals with Neff as well. 1 man on this side of the map, when the entirety of BLG came running it down towards him. He may well even get more from this position, and it's 4 on the board for Sagetsu, single-handedly dealing with Bilibili, leaving Levius in a 1v4. He's creeping up, 6 shots in the magazine, and it's all his. They're leaving it for him, the ace, to kick this off early, and he'll get it as well. 5 for Sagetsu, and 5 rounds for KC.
I saw him in that position, and I'll be honest with you, I was going to say he needs to get more than 1. It did a little bit better getting one.
Yeah.
The thing is, his initial position, it looks great, but the problem is that player behind. You think he gets one, he tries to run away, he gets killed in the back, and they've lost the whole B site. I did not expect the man to just go ahead and ace. But hey, KC managed to win a retake with a single Guardian and some pistols, so I'm not too confident.
They're keeping their Hunter's Fury as well. Aves doesn't use it initially. Perhaps we'll see it fired in to deny the plan to get them space. Wisey picks one, but he's taken out immediately. Elite uses the info of the cleared space, but he's caught dropping. K-Knight doing well, swinging around the back of the site and leaving it into the hands of the attackers. A 3 versus 2. Shock Dart does damage. A lot of damage, in fact. That snake bite just a millisecond too late. But 2 players left desperately low. It's Neff who cancels out the Viper's Pit. That was their way back in. Aves has to do it all, and despite the low HP, they are set up to take him down. They've spotted him too.
No point in saving. Credits are in a great spot for KC, so he's going to give this one a go. Spots out both players, but doesn't land a bullet onto any of them. BLG used the space that they garnered, and BLG, they're just being met with awkward positions. Reckoning going to be used to garner that additional space. They've got the ult for it, and Levius is in a good position, but he was spotted earlier in the round. Elite, diligent in his clearance.
It's the problem, you take out the turret and then you've got to face Elite on mid instead. Tap from Russia tries to pull them forward, but that spike on the ground. And Wisey doesn't stand a chance against all 5 of KC. The round win for Bilibili doesn't see a streak. It's right back to winning ways for KC.
And even still, we've mentioned it, that a lot of his job is just based around delay. The Nano already on the site. He goes swinging through. This man is feeling unbelievably confident at this stage. 2 found off the back, and more the walk up from Levius. Why would anybody have rotated? You've got Sugetsu on B.
Yeah, and that turret's still on mid. Gives them that little bit more freedom in the back of their mind. A bad round forward for BLG. Neff creeping in. He's got 2, but Sada quickly trades it out. The K-Knight's been good. He's made the best of some bad situations, but not this time. The big problem here, 4 players go pushing into the back lines. And this is unfortunate for Neff as he comes back to clear this out. There's a firing squad. He survives at least the first wave and gets out with 20 HP, immediately making that adjustment, moving back to the site and trying to take that control deep. Sugetsu holding the spawn, but oh, Levius. This could be it. That could be the round for Bilibili. He's got himself a triple. That should be it locked in. The Viper's Pit even securing A. There's so much work for KC. And they won't even come close.
Had to get to last man out, but it ended up being almost the perfect counter. It was just a very quick pace
for Bilibili, but they're climbing out slowly. An 8-4 would be a great course correction for them. Have to deal with Martin, who's snuck up close, and he gets out for free. They're chasing him down, but he's got cover from behind, and oh, the acceleration might work out with the Hunter's Fury. It doesn't catch Aves. He's sidestepping it, but Levius fills in that space. He's crept right past them. The lockdown forces his hand, though. He has to keep going, and of course, Elite was waiting for it. No element of surprise as K-Knight, well, he has to match Sugetsu's performance, and ace needed, and it's Sugetsu to put a stop to it.
Yeah, a fantastic half for KC. Really impressive stuff on their map choice. Wow, it'd be a welcome little bit of help.
Yeah, the tires are cold for BLG, and you know what that means, Tom? At least I hope you do. Wisey opening this up. A pistol round would be so important for Bilibili, and they've managed to deal with most of the danger. Elite left alone, even with a martyrdom from Static. And a little bit of damage, a lot of damage done to Wisey. Elite has got a hell of an uphill battle with where that spike is dropped.
Well, what Elite was renowned for last year was his headshot percentage. I think it was in the 40 percentile. And he was getting a lot of kills. Like, obviously, if you're getting 2 kills and like 50% of headshots, it's not quite so impressive. We'll see if he can do it with the pistol. Well, there's only 50%. We'll see if he can keep that going. Already a little bit dangerous. He's got a 1v1, but Neff feeling confident enough to take the fight versus the Turkish powerhouse. And BOG, they've got their lifeline. A couple of kills here would be nice. Try and get rid of some of the rifles, or maybe steal one. Elite, well, I didn't see the shot, but I heard the bullets fired, so I know he didn't miss there. The aggressive position still trying to be held. Sugetsu's taking a lot of damage to swing through. We're seeing risks now on the other side. And that counter utility, at least delaying a little bit. It's perfect timing though for Sadak versus Levius. That does open up the B site.
Yeah, it looked like some of those players tagged, but it was the decay from the orb. So not an easy fight for Neff on range with the Stinger, and he will be quickly dropped, attempting his best Sugetsu cosplay going through that smoke.
Planted. Last player standing.
Rushia, who had a great position earlier. He was pushed up on A main after 2 players were forced back. He had the jump, but KC took it back in this other direction, and it was the right call. They'll get double digits on the board early on in this second half, 10-5.
Throughout this one so far. Sugetsu sneaking his way up. That's already a big opener onto Levius. That takes around all of the mid control and even suspecting the swing. But instead,
Right here.
he's going to try and potentially just dodge the drone. Of course, the space is being watched. You can already see it from Neff. And an important trade back. Going to be able to, well, I was going to say deny the plant, but the snake bite actually doesn't spread far enough.
Yeah, it was a little too shallow. YZ's timing's perfect. Elite caught on the way back. Flank now open. That means Martin has to turn back to hold it, puts more pressure on the site hold. Abez does well. Sadik's there. That was through a smoke, I'm pretty sure. K-Knight's gonna be frustrated to go down like that. And Bilibili, from what was moments ago an advantage, find themselves on the back foot. Time ticking against them. And credits in the bin. They do manage to deal with Abez, but I think the time is too far gone. A save is their only option going into this series. You know that they're going to pick Icebox. It would be a left field pick if they take it somewhere else. So for Bilibili, this is what you're expecting. This is where your preparation's gone into. And the only time they've strung rounds together is being off the back of the pistol. KC back to winning ways immediately, and they're continuing that streak. A dominant set of battles, and the rifles remaining don't stand a chance. 1 versus 5 for Neff. And map point about to be connected for KC. The only real question, will it be flawless? And will Neff be able to escape with this rifle? They're already looking to hunt him down.
Oh, it's at least going to be one. At least he stopped them going flawless, but I don't think that's going to help sleeping at night if they end up losing this series. The fact that he gets a singular kill. Maybe even around FPX times. Hunter's Fury immediately put through, and K-Knight has dodged it, but only for the second. And they're even waiting for YZ. They were watching for him to go for that swing. Neff needs to be careful. I think the silence has given him an idea.
Oh, a wide swing into 2 though. Heavy traffic, and he has been ran over on this B side.
Sugetsu was the close player.
Yeah.
Like, he manages to spin and hit him.
This is disastrous with Neff down and out. There'll be no pit to fight back in. A lockdown put
There's
in play.
so much
just
time left.
Counters out that reckoning, and yeah, they're not buying time really on BLG. A battle needing to be found, and they are losing every fight. Levius down and out. A pick still to be found for Bilibili. And with K-Knight low, it was only a matter of time. Headshot connected, and this is it. The Harbor last to fall. Bilibili looked to find the flow state here on Icebox. They wanted a hot start, but they froze up against KC. Almost claiming the life of K-Knight. Some support in from heaven as well. Good rotations for Bilibili. Element of surprise gets 1 for Rushia, but he is surrounded and pounded out of the round. Elite even got the flank on lockdown. And that is a disastrous start to the pistol, with Levius needing a 1v4.
Yeah, up until that moment there was hope. Now that hope has diminished. Levius, he at least knows where one of them is, but the cam is going to give the game away. Needs this one clean, and okay, he gets it. The time has been bought. I know almost exactly where he is. Well, Abez mentioned the raise on the other side. It's him to start things off. Now on that duelist.
1 away from the showstopper. Then you wouldn't have to block those angles. Oh, they found Rushia too. That's through the B site. A wall even in the way, but it wasn't enough. And at this point, another trade out. A showstopper Showstopper fired, and it's target found but not dealt with till the wallbang comes through. Great recovery from KC, and a 3v2 now. Bilibili on the back foot.
That's gotta hurt. Elite was so desperately low on HP.
Where are you?
K-Knight and Neff completely isolated from each other. The paranoia was solid, and Neff, he gets his third kill of the round, but unless K-Knight can get both of the remainder, that was a chance. He hit them both with that seize. That brought them both low on HP, but unfortunately, of course, the organization of Karmine Corp, they have got a lot to play with. Neff has been honestly amazing so far. There has been one player on Lotus for BLG, and it has been Neff, and it seems like he's finally going to be rewarded with a round.
Paranoia to follow up.
Cover going out.
Re-smoke, of course, giving them that little bit of extra space. And here we go. Paranoia through, but Elite gets 2!
30 seconds
That
left.
duo deleted, and the C site now for KC. I was joking with them having a chance in the 2v5, but there's a real possibility. Luckily, Russia makes this an uphill battle for Sadek.
Also got to be careful on the cross. Wanted to try and isolate one of the jewels, but it isn't to be. Elite made it interesting, but thankfully the other 3 players were able to make sure that didn't go any further. Of course, it's the movement within them that does the damage to you. Well, they've got this site mostly for free, but you're looking at that steel guard. No, you're not, because Levius went ahead. Luckily, K-Knight is there to keep them at least within the realms of possibility. Wisey with another. The spike's still not planted, and it's left all onto Elite. He found 2 in the 2v5. Let's see what he can do in the 1v2.
Well, he's leading the charge for KC so far. Definitely not the man you want remaining in this scenario if you're a Bilibili fan. You can see the defenders. They each have to hold an angle. They're isolated. There's a chance. If he can find the first, and it's a headshot. But following up on that kill may now be more difficult. They're lined up together, ready to take this. Not allowing it to be a 1v1. I was worried they'd step ahead, but again, the discipline being shown, allowing Elite to move around. There's a gap in the smoke, but Neff's holding it. And Bilibili land their second. The climb back begins.
Good response. It does feel like the Chinese region is heating up.
Without a doubt, we'll need to see the same thing in this series, as it was a cold start. In the previous, Martine, I thought he'd TP out or go a little further into spawn, but he gets aggressive with it. And a pick found as a result. Levius has a challenge up close, and it's Aves dropped. Forced down to the pistol and eliminated early on. That's the trade back. Showstopper online for Wisey.
It's just a ruse. Yeah, they're baiting the idea that this is going to be a C site and then hitting back towards A. There is a jiggle peek coming through from K-Knight, but the second he swings, Elite takes his head clean off. A site open for business. The lurk of Elite, again, his 9th kill already. We're only just getting into round number 7.
Oh, Wisey's very wise to this play. He knew someone was towards C. Getting that pick so valuable for BLG, brings it back to even footing, but KC, they go deep. Unfortunately, Levius is hiding in the corner, but he's still dealt with. Getting the jump on them perhaps, but Sagetsu's spidey senses were tingling, and now they just back off. No need to continue the aggression. They'll play back on the site. Wisey could use this moment to put the showstopper into play, to get them out of heaven. Sagetsu's waiting for it though. He spotted the head. Not even gonna fake the TP, stands his ground, but loses it to Neff. The time ticking though. They need to be quick in making this play. They've spotted one. Showstopper in, and it's gonna find its mark. Elite though, buying time, and it's now too far gone. Wisey's gonna get out of here. They've traded the round for the Showstopper, and Wisey even falls to the spike. KC with another round on the board.
But also
I'll find you.
leave a lot to be desired. Spam shots have done so much. They are getting wiped out. YZ's very low, so I guess realistically a bullet would have done the job, but we're considering they have invested everything. Every last penny has gone into this round. They are being slammed. Finally, they get their first pick, but it is all but done and dusted. They are bleeding. They are hemorrhaging. And more importantly, it would likely leave EDG later today, correct me if I'm wrong, as the last hope left for China at this event, which, considering what we've seen from the likes of Wolves, EDG in the past, that's surprising.
I suppose they are the team you'd want to carry the mantle, but maybe not in recent memory. Levy's at least catching Martine, but the 1v4 was never to be. KC continue the climb up.
To do this to somewhat a mainstay of the international stage at this point, we're waiting for them to come to life, and well, it might just be at the hands of Wisey.
Certainly set them up for success so far. This contact from Neff, if he goes up the rope, he could be dead to rights. He needs to keep this space. He needs to stay alive, and he won't. For KC, that could be, and should be, the end of this round. 2 versus 5, an Outlaw to fight their way in, and the spike on the floor.
Spike down A.
Sadak eventually is gonna get flanked as well, and I'm hoping this will finally be the awakening of Wisey. KC will likely want the last 2 as well.
And again, we look at Bilibili needing to string rounds together. One here or there does nothing for you. Aves, Elite, the 2 players that seem so reliable in this series so far, and they keep putting up numbers. Russia left alone and dealt with, and again, the same situation for Bilibili. They can find a round here or there, but it's consistency for KC that's giving them the leg up.
They're trying to go back late towards the C site, but the ruse has not succeeded. There are still 2 players within this site. Neff has also caught Aves. They know that this is now a fake and walking into what is still a trap, but even still they managed to find one. Spike on the floor. And they're going to utilize that steel garden in the hopes, but it doesn't matter. Martine's still going even with the pistol. But getting this spike down is going to be incredibly difficult. So many players tagged up, but Martine's still going strong, looking for that final round, but Neff is standing in their way. The plant is not going to go down either. That was all he really needed. KC, they'll win 8-4, but BLG at least got one at the end.
Plans within plans from KC, but BLG, they've given themselves enough of a chance. A foundation laid, but a comeback needed in half number 2.
One man in this position, Martine just hoping he can find something here, but he is completely surrounded.
Not a chance. Good reaction by BLG, just flooding him even from up top. Damage has been done. K-Knight in with a big chance, and he's grabbed himself a triple. Sagetsu, well, he's been phenomenal so far in this series. The 1v5, way too much to ask.
Again, an important pistol. We've already mentioned it. When you look at the attack side of this map, that is where you see a lot of teams thrive.
May well have sealed the fate of Bilibili. Still, good damage and a good outcome for KC, who now look to continue their streak. They have had the momentum. They've had a chokehold on the game, and Martine, oh, he's wrecked Russia. The A site. No space for the attackers. The wall no longer in play.
Just how much time is left? Spike only just being retrieved back towards the spawn. 30 seconds left. A double stack up on the B side, a double stack up on C. Good luck.
Yeah, look at K-Knight immediately realizing that's not a push they can make happen. Hearing steps away from C though. Levius is called for that rotation. TPs go in, it's a double TP. A brave play by Sagetsu, but perhaps a foolish one, as he's shut down. The spike still needing to cross. 10 seconds, and picks keep going their way. KC overheating and giving opportunities away. The plant should be found here, and the spray almost cost Sadak his life, but they'll get there in the end. A round that seemed destined to be KC's, but it does come close.
But that was exactly what I was talking about. Like, Sugetsu has made some plays where I'm like, that's madness. Like, that's actually just, it verges on stupid. But it's like, he's been getting away with it all the way through the match. And then that was where they go, okay, mate, like, come on, you've just double TP'd into the back of the site when you know they've already got through that point. Top fragger in the server right now is Neff.
I mean, they're only 3 rounds behind. He's had some big performances, but... Oh, Sagetsu!
What?
He's hunting down that title! A triple! And they fold it in his hands yet again! It's 4! No way! 2 aces possible in one series. And again, they'll give him this space. The battle is his to take. The title his to claim. We've seen a handful of aces, but two, not yet. But Sugetsu delivers as KC seem destined to claim this series.
Maybe sacrificed himself in the last round so that he gets powered up for this one. The first two, I feel like you knew from then that he was about to do something crazy because he already had. And then the setup as well, the selfless Aves to give him that extra pick.
I'll tell you that. They're delivering.
Okay.
They're heating up throughout the year.
It's not overcooked.
And Elite, oh, he's been blinded, but he's using the smokes. He's gotten out of there. Slipped through the cracks, but so had Neff. Delivering one to the back of his head, but Sugetsu returns the favor. Sadek takes down Levius, but the push in towards the spawn, BLG are finding some extra space. They're isolating duels. This round now sees a lot of promise. Rifles and a big bazooka for YZ. He's got the showstopper to work with the numbers even and the plant in. BLG may even be favored, and if this showstopper goes in towards the spawn, this could be huge.
Oh, Nightfall first, showstopper to counter, could get both and will. YZ, another added, and well, there is no chance for Martin to turn this around. Again, resilience shown by BLG. You get aced for a second time, but it doesn't crush the mental. Yeah, but we know what their problem was. It was never finding a round. It was finding the second. It was making sure that they could actually string something together. They've spotted Sugetsu. Honestly, go the other way. Run for the hills because it seems like the second you meet that man, you meet your doom. Instead, well, they've managed to remove the guns away. That Steel Garden has helped, but it doesn't help versus a showstopper, and it doesn't help versus Aves. Back on top once again, and it is the same flaw we have witnessed all the way through this match for BLG.
It felt like that was their opportunity to get back into the game, but the second wind out of the sails. Now they look to do it here. Spray good for YZ. A triple and the stinger follow-up. He even started that by shooting their own Omen DP. That's a ridiculous recovery on what looked like a bit of a blunder. And well, they can't string rounds together, but they will battle right back afterwards at least.
Yeah, it seems like both teams are now starting to have the same issue. YZ used the showstopper in the last round, already 5, and what will be 6 orbs back towards it. Well, the only way to get it quicker would be to ace. Not really possible. But it is a huge round for him. Oh, there you go. There's the 7th orb. 1 away from having the showstopper already. Maybe not the way he would have wanted to do it. And well, for Elite, this comes down to saving the weaponry. The economy, not bad if he can hold on to this gun. He'll be able to drop for Martin. Everybody else will be able to afford. He loses this gun. We're going to see a few vulnerabilities for KC.
I really hope we get a replay of YZ running in, shooting Neff in his TP, and then picking up 3. Like, that was a horrendous start, but a beautiful finish. They're closing in on Elite. They don't want him to save that weapon, and he will be denied. 8-11. But for BLG, their biggest challenge yet to come. The aggression from KC. Just put pressure on Levius. He's being chased down. Paranoia is following him, so is the Prowler. Players all around, and they're coming back to help him, but a little bit too late. Bilibili lose control of their own spawn, but they haven't pushed too far forward either. They haven't cleared tree, haven't got any space towards that broken door. I mean, this is slow, and all the information there for KC.
Yeah, that turnaround to try and help him ended up being a bit more of a problem than it ended up being a solution. Neff, though, again, so many high-value kills throughout this map so far. A 4v4 scenario, spike planted. And in terms of the ults, nothing online for either side, but Elite has managed to kill off K9. That's going to be the reveal. They know exactly where this man is. That doesn't necessarily help them again. Neff just stepping up when they need him. A 3rd for the Omen. YZ's added another, and well, Sugetsu, he's liked his chances all the way through this map, but not this one.
And that is going to leave a little lighter defended. Martinez a gate crash for a little while longer. And they hear the steps sits clean. Does he get, oh, he can't get out. Gets a little greedy.
Yeah, he sticks around for too long, and that gives them the way onto the site, but he has bought some time. Sadak already here, looking to swing alongside Aves. Paranoia is superb. It pushes them back, but they do need to get into that plant. Stuck in the mud from the Caesars. Viper's Pit, even going to be thrown in off the back of it. That will give them that little bit of extra space to try and fall back from. And well, this is definitely not going to be easy for KC to get back in.
The sprays here, very dangerous. A lot of players lined up on that close angle. Aves waiting for the walkthrough. Oh, the spam almost takes Neff down. Those players lurking inside the pit. K-Knight takes his moment to swing through! And it's a Sheriff through the pit. It's Rusia stepping up for the battle. Sugetsu trying to dive on in, but they need to find Viper. They need to drop that pit, and Levius wraps around to take them down as they seek him out. 11-11. The lead no longer in the hands of KC. 5 in a row.
They got double operator.
Double op it may be, and look at what they're up against. The showstopper in play, but Martine out of the round already.
Not the start that they were looking for. The sniper on the other side immediately eliminated, and Neff's added another to the death toll. It was a strong showing in that first half, and even the beginning of this second from Karmine Corp, but they have started to crumble at the worst possible moment. Rusia putting down Sugetsu, a third map looking inevitable at this stage, and Aves showstopper and elite is all that stands in their way, and they couldn't be further away from the action. The C site will be under threat, and well, they've already utilized the Steel Garden to make sure if there was anybody there, they are not having a gun.
Well, it took a while for Bilibili to warm up, but they are certainly looking good now. The closer just moments away. 2 picks. Aves and Elite. The showstopper fired in. Doesn't even find a pick. Damage done, sure, but the uphill battle and the climb that they just cannot make happen. 13-11. 6 rounds in a row for Bilibili, and they have found their way to sunset.
I'm a little bit nervous to see who it's going to be, because I think that realistically, if you're going off the team that has had that level of experience, may get better going further into the tournament, you'd look at a BLG, but Elite is another that can do that role. And of course, the other side of the map, there's going to be consistent aggression. Aves not off to the start he was looking for, as he will lose his life to Rusia.
It's the opening pick. And now look how isolated Martine is going to be. Why is he going straight for him? And the one-to-one trade, perfect for them. Levius left on the other side of the map. It will be a very late lurk.
The call to rotate all the way back. Know that those positions are clear, because the A side wasn't cleared. They hadn't gone through any of it, and then the backstab as well from K-Knight. They are playing this to perfection. Sure, the plant goes down in 2 seconds, but it seems like this round had been cemented for a long, long time. KC have fallen into the trap. And while Sugetsu, 5 HP and 3 to find, he does manage to get Levius. The observers didn't believe.
No.
The observers didn't believe.
Not for a second. To be fair.
Don't Prius us.
Whoa. I mean, he is 5 HP, was in the previous fight too, and there's a crossfire now. Paranoia is good to catch one, but the shot from the side closes it out. And a really nice pistol round there from BLG. Great space taking.
They've always been the team running away with the game. Elite is already under some serious pressure. He has all the information, but he doesn't have any of the support. Even going to be spotted out, but it doesn't matter. He's taken 2 in a split second. Already, the run it back utilized, but that sacrifice from Aves isn't in vain. At least they have that little bit of extra information of the close player, and now opt to use the drone and play the retake instead.
Well, Neff's recovered Elite's rifle now. A little bit of an upgrade with a Vandal in play. And KC understandably cautious about fighting their way back through. They've got a foothold. Market and Spawn are theirs. Waiting for smokes to fade, waiting for a plant to be attempted. Looks like Wisey wants to take this deep. Still 2 flashes for Neff. 1 fired out in return for Aves. Neff wasn't blind, but he can't get in on time. Martine with a cover from up top, and Aves with a flawless retake, hitting the shots they needed to. And KC Well, they're right back on the board. 2-1. Maybe a second ahead of the drone, and that was a problem. Martin forced back early.
Cutting through.
BLG looking for that control towards A main. Already clearing out that right side, but they didn't think Martin would stick around. He had to get out of jail free with the gate crash, and he's grabbed a pick before the jailbreak.
This is the sort of position I think fondly of when I think of Martin.
Here.
Just in these corners, flash is available. Ready though, that's the lurk I spoke about at the beginning of Levius. Utilizing the additional space around the map, but the time is what's really against them here. 25 seconds, Spike in the corner. Neff is actually alone. Like, if Neff goes down here, this round is basically over. The rest of the team are pushing, and there you go, that's the Spike on the ground. Martin continuing his reign of terror in this one. And while 2 for the side of BLG is quickly responded to with that double up from Casey. And honestly,
Zeiss still looks unbelievably stressed.
Careful now.
You love to see it. For BLG, as we said, the back foot economically. A lot of weaknesses. Stingers in play. It takes a while, but they get there in the end. Sadik with a double. Aves backing up for a little bit of a heal. The Outlaw firing off on both cylinders, but getting out with the gate crash.
there is still plenty of time. That's the one thing they have available for them in this round, is that they don't necessarily have to go just pushing straight into the blender.
Oh, well, the shot's not landing, and Russia even managing to drop Aves. It's not bad in terms of adding up that damage. Neff is so low. Nade buys him the 1v1, and he wins it too. It now starts to look a little bit more winnable. Down goes the plant, or so they think.
30 seconds left.
He's giving away the game now. 28 seconds, and the rotate to B, perhaps, or the wrap for the kills. He's quite low on time. They'll have to start running pretty soon, and there it is.
Gonna hit the trip.
I think they, well, whether they heard it or not, it doesn't matter. Yeah, right into the trip.
Oh,
has to break open the door. 12 seconds. He'll get there in time, but they are chasing him down.
Yeah, he's been slowed at every single corner. Goes for the safe plant. At least allows him to stay alive. Now, bear in mind, both players are tagged up, so he has a very real chance of making this one work. Martin still needing to cross. Elite already within the site. There are definitely opportunities for isolated battles. He only has 9 bullets left as well, but that would be more than enough. But they are waiting patiently, expecting him to eventually swing, and he does, and finds the kill, leaving it down to just one. Neff, he's been unbelievable so far, but he needs just that little bit more, and the time is starting to tick. Elite gives his position away, and Neff with another crucial round for BLG.
This guy is the beating heart of Bilibili right now. It's put all the credits on the line for KC. It's given Bilibili a real chance to run away with this lead. If they win this round here, 4-2 up, economy advantage, but everything thrown at it. Ult in for Aves, he's running it down, but he won't find anything. K-Knight takes Elite down with the Hunter's Fury. Neff's here yet again. And they're already on the back foot, but damage has been done. A chance to follow up. Wisey falls quickly. Neff is low, and Rushi is no longer here. This round still very viable for KC. A loss here will give BLG a massive advantage. The diffuser desperately low, dealt with after one. And K-Knight with it all to do, but time on his side, and the spray's beautiful! BLG, they managed to clutch out the round, and now it seems like the world is their oyster.
He got 2 kills in the first buy round. Other than that, he's had just 1 the entirety of this half.
And they're not even looking to come directly into him. A play into the spawn. 3 players bypassed by Wisey. They turn and take him down. The trades don't come in fast enough. Oh, with the advantage resting with KC. And it looks like the attacker's crumbling. Both players on the site. Already passed 1 trip. Elite has to be worried about his back. They could now be wrapping on him, but in comes Aves to fill in the space. Martin will be here with the off as well, and well, the flash doesn't find anyone on the back of it. Martin will clear all of this space. Grab all of the information. Both players now spotted. Flash pop. He comes out of ult. Off now trained in on their position. The cage to try to get them out. And okay, they go back behind it. They concede the space. Now have to fight back into it with that op holding the right side. It's all down to Neff. He has to be the one to put the pressure on as the defuse is being tapped. And now there's 2 players holding the wide swing. Well handled by KC. They will get their extra round on the board.
Yeah, it definitely looked like it was getting a little bit dicey.
the trips over on the A site, so it's not going to be as easy to hold on to this B control as maybe in some of the other rounds that we could have seen. BLG instantly fill that space, but Elite catches them. The more passive hold, not expected. Again, Aves shut down in the ultimate. But they have the advantage. They've done damage onto YZ as well. No need to panic with the op trained in. It's a matter of patience. Levius moments away from stepping into that angle by the looks of things. The Hunter's Fury catches one, and they follow up with the pick. This is dangerous, but Aves manages to pull it back. The low HP YZ traded out. They now know about Levius on the backside. They'll deal with him too, and Martin finally gets his reward. Neff, he's been steady as the earth itself, but this time it will be Sagetsu to win the round out for KC to deal with the big clutch player.
And it seems like the plan for now is to retake. Timing on mid is going to be everything though. One player tucked in as Levius does. Aves check the angle. He is not quick enough. And that is all the information that they could ever need. They're going to try and execute off this.
Still a trap waiting. It will be destroyed though. Nobody revealed. Elite, no easy kill for him. YZ goes down again, but the trades come in. He's bought space for his squad. Good flash, but they deliver anyways. And the jump through with the op. It is a bold play and a costly one at that, as BLG end up with the round.
6 for BLG. A half victory seems deserved with how this game has gone so far, but they're now walking in to that crossfire from Elite. They know exactly where he is. There is no escape from that one, and this time, well, it's actually going to be the Hunter's Fury finding
Russia
a tag.
This is beautiful. They've baited out the ult from Aves. They've done everything, and they've got an Omen ult to just pull it right back into their favor. They grab the spike. Easy plant on the A site. Sagetsu tries to get ahead of it. He's going to be deleted. This is a beautiful round from BLG. So many dangers were lurking there. K-Knight letting Aves know that they've got one up on him there with a little spam to the body. And Russia, beautiful paranoia. That is some cerebral play to close out this half.
Yeah, it felt like they had everything they needed.
So it's not as easy as pointing at his kills and saying, well, he's fallen off. But now on the defense, this is where he's got a chance to really deliver. He finds the opening in the pistol. But K-Knight gets tagged pretty low as well. Decent trade of blows early on from both sides, with Sadik also down to 25.
It's been a back and forth and back again, but the plant will end up on B site as planned. The patience paying off, and the paranoia actually used to try and aggress, but all players tucking it. Sugetsu's turned around and taken down K-Knight though. It gives them the man advantage, but some incredibly low HP players. It's not going to be easy to hold on to this, or maybe it is. Aves with a quick, slick double. And KC find themselves right back in the game. I don't know, it makes me nervous. And more importantly, I'm just looking at the position of Russia. If they try and clear this guy, never mind. I can kind of understand why he thought that maybe they would have been a little bit further through with how long it's been, but that should make this round safe at this point, because a spike plant will start that time ticking against the defensive side.
Planted.
Yeah, time now very much in their favor. BLG, it's not like they have to throw themselves at this, and I think the main thing to think of is you're up against Aves. He already found a couple of picks in the pistol. He's already playing the orbs, one away from the run it back. The next round is an investment from BLG. If you go giving him orbs right now,
he's coming. That's
dangerous, but that's the problem. He's going to come for them no matter what.
They knew it.
Even if you take him down, he gets what he wants out of this transaction, and Martin is in there for a few more. Let's go down to the spike, lads. No chance. That's almost more than halfway, in fact, to Martin's ultimate off that. Yeah, that's about as good as it could have went for KC.
Oh, yeah. Like, you get the one orb you needed for Aves, and then you also get 4 orbs for Martin. Like, yeah, great stuff. And, like, again, you look at what BLG tried to do. They had the cam set up. They knew they were going to be pushed, but in the end, it didn't matter too much. Some stat padding, but more importantly, the Vandals. And well, you throw that, run it back into the mix, it almost looks favored. That was the weaker weapon, and that's Russia down.
Oh, why is he falling too? He went in to try to steal back some space.
Dry peaks.
This is, well, I can forgive him. because you've lost one on the A site. You'd think at most it's probably a lurker there. But instead, the whole squad is in position. They're now accelerating into the B site. They're tapping the plant, maybe going for it after as Aves clears out all that space. Bit of a mistake there as Martin falls, utility in hand, but a 4 versus 2 that they're left in post-plant should be
planted.
Easy one to close, and with Levius down, it looks impossible. Neff, as good as he's been in this series, the spray says it all. He's gonna run to save this weapon.
That felt just like a domino round. Like you just, one player makes a mistake and then that's it. You just basically just run it down until you lose. Like you had a hero play attempted by Wisey reclaiming space. And then you have another player, I think, just runs through spawn in attempt to fight the entirety of the squad while Neff is still back towards middle. Like that's, well, I've seen a lot of good rounds from BLG, and that was definitely on the other side of the coin. Especially in a round where you know that there's going to be a weaker weapon or two. There's massive risks taken with absolutely no reward. Of course, for KC, you've got to hit the shot. Attack with Martin's ultimate can be utilized to try and almost clear out that space, but they are looking to put the pressure onto Rushia. He does have support, and maybe they're not quite expecting the aggression from Wisey.
Beautiful paranoia.
Cage triggered.
Wise even waited a moment to swing on in. They thought the danger was averted, but not even close. And with Elite falling, it should be BLG to take this round. Wisey 10 health and a 2 versus 4. Spike still in possession of KC. And an avenue into the B side open if they break that door. But it looks like the push into spawn. It's what they're going for. They've spotted Levius, but now they've got players all around. They're surrounded. Good flash, but no space taken. Smoke goes down. They won't pressure. They're going to take that avenue. Now covered by Levius. The leg spotted in Martin.
Left.
He's smelling blood in the water, sensing the weakness, but it turns to strength for BLG in the 1v4.
Normally you'd give to get to a chance. Maybe there is one. He's done it again. That's got to be one of the most ridiculous clutches I've ever seen. Sugetsu is a walking aimbot. One of the greatest clutches I've ever seen in Valorant. And Sugetsu, yeah, as said, if you tell me he's cheating, I believe you. Wisey is going to try and put him down. Well, there's the ace. You know, he gets the 5th one a little bit later. K-Knight has done well.
Graves. He scoffed. What a transfer! Neff and Rushia down. That could have been the recovery for BLG, taking him down, taking the space, recovering a rifle too. And instead it's a disadvantage to work with. K-Knight's work dismantled in a fraction of a second. And a plant, well, should be soon to be found. Someone tell Sadik he has the spike. Oh, he's just waiting. Spike in his backpack, rifle in hand, and K-Knight on the floor as the spike is soon to be. How have they gotten away? Both of these rounds, ridiculous individual plays.
Sadik doesn't give a damn. Like, he genuinely, spike in my pocket, couldn't care less. It just combined with, and yet we sit on map number 3.
You're dead.
And they could still take themselves to the playoffs. Aves, though, has other ideas. A solid start, a Hunter's Fury, a teleport to the back of sight, but it's only going to be the one this time. K-Knight, though, desperately low.
Yeah, that tag, it's going to work wonders for KC. K-Knight will struggle to do anything else here. A second flash fired through, it's delaying them.
30 seconds
The spike's still trapped in main, though. Has to make that cross out. Sadik's been very patient with spike in hand. At this point, you even start to wonder if they faked it, if they've gone back, but as they walk in, Elite stabs them in the back, and this all unravels. Wisey needs a big play, and Sadik, the one to close that out and put KC on match and series point.
They are just 1 round out of 5 away from eliminating BLG and taking themselves into the top 8, a team that had to go through the entirety of the EMEA qualifier just to get here, but a judge stands in their way, and Aves is already gone.
Martin follows suit. BLG, it's a long climb back. 5 rounds in a row, but they managed 6 on Lotus. You can't count them out just yet, and in this round, there's no way to. Elite 1v5. Sagetsu in his calm saying, I'd win this. Let's see if he can match. And then even add one on top of one of the most outrageous plays we've seen. I don't think this will be the one, but you have to think that KC just moments away from finding the round they need.
Maybe if K-Knight sticks a dart to the top of his head and then he clutches, then it would be a better clutch. I don't even think a 1v5 would be better. Genuinely, I'm lost for words still at what just happened, but the belief is still there. They come back with a round like that at any moment's notice.
4 in a row against a comp like this, Tom.
That's not a bad start.
Not sure about that from Martin. An attempt to fake out that side of the map, and instead he's just removed himself from the equation entirely. Eventually those ults will be online, and KC have high impact to work with. They could still take it in this round here. That said, lots of reveals, lots of impact. Aves finding one, but he will be dealt with as K-Knight steps up. Hits this one out of the park. Sadek with a big clutch needed. And he won't get past Wisey.
Yeah, they are building once again. K-Knight has been the catalyst in this map. We were talking about Neff, and he's definitely still had his moments, but...
On site, and it looks like he will.
Yeah.
40 seconds left. Not a lot of support for him here. Needing to at least get a one and done. He's buying time, but they know exactly where he is. Martin already with a double. The beginning of the end, unless there is a hero. K-Knight, 25 kills to his name, has been that catalyst. But the smoke comes back up and they know exactly where he is. Martin coming alive at the depths. We've already seen 2 aces. He's looking to try and get the third. K-Knight, last man standing to hold on, and it will be KC heading into that top 8.
What a great feeling here for Karmine Corp to get the crowd electrified in that 13-9 victory.
That entire last map was just a montage. It was highlight after highlight.